This is a popular depiction of Jesus Christ. Do you believe this is the real image of Jesus? Each region of the world is different depictions of Jesus. White people have set foot in many parts of the world to conquer and bestow civilization. So this is the most common image of Jesus we see. Using modern forensic techniques, synthesizing skull images, and the closest records in the Bible, scientists have produced the closest image of Jesus Christ to what it looks like. In southern Egypt, a group of people found strange ancient coins with images of aliens printed on them. This leads many to believe that this is proof that aliens were once present on Earth. The image on the coin clearly shows this is not a picture of a human, but an image of an alien like in sci-fi movies. Another ancient coin minted hundreds of years ago proves aliens made multiple visits to Earth. Decoration on this French artifact, carved between 1650 and 1856, shows a strange, circular, craft-like object floating in the sky. And alien enthusiast Scott C. Waring says the mysterious object on it is proof of regular extraterrestrial trips to our planet. It looks really amazing, and is absolute proof that in the 1600s the French witnessed enough UFO sightings to decide to put some of what they saw on coins. The lost civilization of Atlantis may be located in the Sahara Desert. In the western part of the Sahara there is a structure called the Richat, also known as the Eye of the Sahara. Everyone thinks that the city of Atlantis is at the bottom of the ocean. But in the 4th century BC, the Greek philosopher Plato suggested that Atlantis might be located in Africa. He said that Atlantis was made up of concentric circles, with 3 parts water and 2 parts land. This very much coincides with the structure of the Sahara Eye. Plato also suggested that the entrance to the Sea of Atlantis faced south. And coincidentally, when viewed from the satellite, the Richat structure also has a missing part in the south. According to satellite images, we can see that these white streaks are actually salt lying on the sand. This shows that there was once seawater flowing through this area. According to scientists, the Sahara Desert was once a place with a lush, green climate. Furthermore, according to Plato, there is a great mountain range north of Atlantis. Coincidentally, to the north of the Richat structure there is also a huge mountain range called the Atlas, and Atlas is also the name of the first king of the Atlantis Empire. If Plato's description is correct, this is most likely the location of the legendary city of Atlantis. The simple thing without the answer: the structure of water. It can be said that water is the most basic substance on Earth, creating life. However, this is still a rather complex and mysterious compound. The most obvious example is freezing. Normally, when liquids are frozen, the volume will be reduced. But when it freezes, the volume of water increases. Estimated increase of about 9%. This explains why there is a phenomenon that water bottles kept in the freezer compartment sometimes break, can even explode when the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius. Besides, another mystery is the slipperiness of the ice. Why is ice so slippery that we can slip on it? For centuries this question has been asked but has not been answered. By cooling a bottle of pure water to a moderate degree and tapping it lightly, we can turn liquid water into ice in a split second. Furthermore, under certain conditions, hot water can freeze faster than cold water. This is the entrance to the tomb of the Egyptian pharaoh, Tutankhamun. Before being excavated by the British in 1923, the seal was still intact and had not been touched by anyone for more than 3,200 years. More than 58 valuable artifacts were buried in the ancient tomb of the young king. Among them is a special artifact that makes us doubt the knowledge of the ancient Egyptians. This artifact has caused much controversy. It is an iron knife. Through years of research, scientists have concluded that the material to make this knife does not come from the earth. It is a type of iron from space, also known as meteoric iron. Today, meteorite iron is extremely rare, and its price is higher than that of gold. Surprisingly, from a few thousand years ago, the Egyptians knew about this iron. In ancient records they called it iron from the sky. Why don't we cover the entire Sahara with solar panels? If we install solar panels across the entire Sahara, it can generate 2.5 million terawatt-hours of electricity per year, enough to power 96% of the Earth's area. However, this will have extremely serious consequences. Why? This changes the climate, and makes the Sahara colder. Increased rainfall in the desert can create giant oceanic cyclones, and the Amazon rainforest will turn into a desert. It has been observed that rainfall in the Sahara Desert causes drought in the Amazon. Meanwhile, the lack of rain in the Sahara promotes the development of the Amazon. Observation satellites discovered this surprising relationship. Every year, about 42 million tons of dust fly from the Sahara and travel about 4,300 kilometers across the Atlantic Ocean before falling into the Amazon rainforest. This dust carries large amounts of phosphorus, which is important for plants. It is no exaggeration to say that the Amazon was born because of the Sahara. So if you cover the Sahara with solar panels, it will have a huge impact on the Amazon rainforest. This is the unluckiest bear on Earth. Joey is a brown bear with albinism. It was looking for food when it was discovered by an animal protection organization. Mistaking it for a polar bear, they rescued it and brought it back to the North Pole. Not only had to fight hunger and cold, but it was also beaten up by other polar bears. Fortunately, it met a group of scientists on an expedition, and they recognized it as a brown bear and brought it back to its homeland. Before he could eat enough, Joey was brought to the North Pole by an animal protection organization. And again it was rescued, returned to the forest. Fearing that people would mistake it for a polar bear, they dyed its fur brown. After some time, the brown color gradually fades, its white coat gradually grows out. And then, Joey was taken away again. This time not to the North Pole, but to the zoo, an area dedicated to polar bears. If Joey the brown bear can talk, he will tell all the brown bears not to get albinism if they get sick. Mysterious creature, no explanation yet. On September 12, 1952, people living in the state of Braxton, West Virginia saw a strange thing fall from the sky. It lurks in the woods. People immediately called the police. Arriving at the scene, the police smelled a strange metallic smell in the air, and some strange noises in the dark. As they approached, they saw a strange creature. It was about 4 meters, 13 feet tall, wearing a costume made of metal, a pointed head and clawed hands. This mysterious creature hovers in the air and makes shrill, ghastly sounds, causing everyone present to panic and run away. Eyewitnesses reported that the creature caused them symptoms such as dizziness, headaches and nausea. Thanks to possessing the special ability to appear and disappear, no one knows what the creature is until now. They called it the Flatwoods Monster, or the Ghost of the Flatwoods. Strangely, the 2,500-year-old heart is still beating. Recently, archaeologists discovered a mummy that is 2,500 years old. And one thing that surprised them was that the mummy's heart was still beating. This is a very logical thing. After careful analysis, experts discovered that in the place of the mummy's heart there was a device that looked like a pacemaker. A black crystal containing radiation is placed in the heart, and through vibration can simulate human sound, frequency, heartbeat. The withered heart was still beating continuously to the rhythm of the pacemaker. Its beat was very rhythmic, 80 beats per minute. All those who witnessed it could hear it very clearly. Cairo Hospital then announced the shocking news to the public. Many scientists from all over the world have flocked to Cairo for research. Experts were faced with a series of inexplicable problems. More than 2,500 years ago, who would have known that black crystals contained radioactive substances and could keep the heart beating? And given that ancient Egyptian medical conditions were said to be much more backward than they are today, how did one get such an advanced pacemaker into the human chest cavity? Strange story, a crow adopted an orphan kitten. This kitten has been wandering, starving for days. It sought refuge in the yard of an old couple's house. The elderly couple Wallace and Annie saw the poor cat. They went inside the house to bring him a plate of food. But the cat's meow attracted something unexpected, and it took on the responsibility of taking care of the kitten. They couldn't believe their eyes. A crow and a cat were walking together. They thought the crow would eat the cat, but it turned out to be the opposite. The crow flies around. It goes looking for food and seeds, not for it but for the kitten to eat. It also holds water in its mouth for the kitten to drink. The couple could not believe their eyes. Two hostile species suddenly became friends. The cat gradually recovered its strength. Cat and crow become best friends. They witnessed the miraculous power of animals. They called the veterinarian to ask for advice. And people thought they were joking. But the old couple's sure words silenced them. If you're sure that what you're telling is true, make a video, because no one will believe it. So they used the camera to film the whole incident. The crow is taking care of an orphan cat. The natural world constantly surprises them. It helped the cat survive. The cat and the crow have nothing in common. They differ in both appearance and instinct, but that does not stop them from becoming a family. Both are lost and distant from their own kind. Together, they become strong, and love heals all wounds. Soon the cat matured and became hyperactive. It doesn't have a mother to teach it to deal with dangers like passing traffic on the road. But the crow did not hesitate to act. It shows protective instincts and calls out as if it wants to give orders. The raven's intense cry helped bring the kitten back. Kittens are very obedient to crows. The crow becomes the adoptive mother of the kittens. The kitten grows up to be beautiful and naughty. Its energy has no limits. It can injure its friend while playing together. The elderly couple watched closely. But cat and crow taught them a valuable lesson. The cat and the crow are so close to each other that they learn to move as one. They know how to play with each other without hurting each other. Their destiny is bound together because of love. There is no rivalry or enmity between them. But the crow will have to step aside, because the kitten is now an adult and it no longer eats seeds. So the old couple decided to come closer and feed the kitten more suitable food. The crow is very alert, testing the food before the kittens taste it. But it has learned to trust people. So the four became a family. The kitten bravely entered the house. It spent the night with the elderly couple. The crow did not dare to enter the house, but every morning the crow flew and perched on the window, looking for its friend. The crow and the cat have overcome all difficulties together. To them, the difference didn't matter at all. If you want, there's always room for love.